Alright, YouTube, the Shadow King Nazru, here with a review for Rosario Vampire 2, Chapter 29. Skinny and the others see Fong Fong's mother and mistakenly presume that this is Tohang Fuhai, despite what Fong Fong said that Tohang Fuhai was their grandfather. And Fong Fong corrects him by showing that it's the short old man below her. A nice way to start off the manga with some humor, because trust me, things pretty get pretty tense by the end of this chapter. Bonbon's parents are Fei Hung and Tim Tim, and they treat the newspaper club to a Chinese feast. Toa Fuhai starts to get greedy, and Tim Tim uses her needles on him. And it's described by her husband that Tim Tim is a master martial artist and is stronger than him. And Melka and Intermelka discuss whether or not Tohai Fuhai is genuinely a Dark Lord, because Outer Melka has some doubts, while Inner Melka can confirm it because he leaves no openings and his skills are unprecedented. Further proven by the fact that Tohao Fuhai manages to appear before Inamoka without actually surprising her, despite her being skilled with her vampire senses. So, and we see some further skills when we see that Toa Fuhai is able to look at the rosary with a glance and see that it's already broken. So we know that despite how this guy behaves, he is quite skilled, and he definitely lives up to his reputation as one of the three Dark Lords. And for those of you who have asked me, how come I didn't make a Star Wars joke, like why not even mention maybe like a Dark Lord of the Sith? I didn't, because that's not really relevant, so let's just move on. Anyway, Toa Fuhai tries to get Intermoka in a sexy cosplay before trying to help her. So we can deduce that this was Akihisa Aikida's tribute to Akira Toriyama's Master Roshi character from Dragon Ball. Still waiting for that Dragon Ball crossover. And it turns out that Tao Fuhai likes manga girls so much because he used to be a ladies' man back in his day, but as he got older, girls started to ignore and reject him. So this is pretty much like a mid-crisis thing. He feels that manga girls will never leave him, and they'll always, in his mind, think he's sexy and whatnot. Well, that's sad. Toa Fuhai says Intermuka is beautiful just like her mother, Akasha Blooddriver. So, Muka's mother is named after the character from Queen of the Damned. Nice. Ruby and Cocoa, meanwhile, go to the Snow Village to talk to the Snow Priestess. And the Snow Priestess tells them that the 1,000-year frost tree, which makes their village barrier, is weakened, and they feel that Fairy Tail is responsible. And the Snow Priestess shows that an egg has been embedded in the tree, and they can't remove or destroy it without destroying the tree. Ruby also suspects that Fairy Tail came to the Snow Village in the first place, not only to set up an alliance, but to also plant this egg there. And Kahlua Shuzan, Cocoa's sister, arrives and confirms this. Cocoa and Ruby prepare to fight her, but she didn't come for that, especially since Kahlua has mentioned before that she hates fighting. Kahlua says that there are different eggs in different parts of Japan, and that the Shuzan family supports Fairy Tail now. So Fairy Tail has all these eggs set up in various points in the in Japan, and possibly put in their most vulnerable spots. So they definitely got something planned right here. And we're going to see how that plan unfolds in later chapters. And we're also hearing that more about Koko's family. And Koko deduces that if the whole entire Shuzen family is supporting Fairy Tail, that means that uh, her eldest sister, Aqua Shuzen, is with Fairy Tail. And you know how I said that Coco is afraid of Kahlua? She's even more afraid of Aqua. So Aqua is going to be a dangerous character. Kahlua tells Coco not to get involved and don't let Aqua meet Mocha. It is very imperative that doesn't happen, or else what happened in the past will happen again. So this adds a bit of a mystery. What could Aqua and Mocha have done that was so bad that they don't want this to ever happen again? And that Mocha has never even brought this up before. Tohao Fuhai says he was good friends with Akasha Blood Driver, and he knows how she disappeared. Akasha apparently disappeared when Mocha was little and destroyed all things about her, like her photos and her diary, and all that she left in her Mocha was the rosary. So that's why she's willing to risk her freedom for it, because it's the only keepsake she has of her mother. That's kind of nice. It's a bit touching that we get to see a bit more emotional side to Inner Mocha. So Tohai Fuhai agrees to help, and says that Akasha seals Inner Mocha's power to not drag her into her burdens. And Inner Mocha is curious what burden that is. But before that is answered, Toa Fuhai shows the seals system, and the rosary sealing system is like a filter, limiting personality and abilities. Say, like, if it was worked on somebody who was a really big pervert, the seal would suppress that personality, and they would just be like acting more like a normal person. Tohao says the rosary has been broken, not just recently, but it's been that way for quite a while now. And Inner Mocha deduces that it happened when Outer Mocha forcefully released Inner Mocha during her fight with Kiria. Toa Fuhai discovers Mikogami also lied to him about the rosary, as it isn't meant to suppress power, but to suppress something else. The light shines, and Skune, Tohao, Kurumu, and Mizre get dragged in. Skune gets teleported and sees that there's a castle in the distance, and is soon confronted by a childlike Inner Mocha. Akasha comes and gets Inner Mocha before Akasha could be spotted by Skune, and Toa Fuhai and Mizre are with Skune, and he tells Skune they are inside Inner Mocha's memory and soul. Skune knows Akasha is a lot like Outer Mocha in terms of her personality, her hair, her beauty. She's like a grown-up version of Outer Mocha. The memory also shows that this was back when Inner Mocha lived with Kokoa and Kahlua Shuzen. And we see how they were like. Inner Mocha was slightly more girlish and nicer. Kokoa still wanted to challenge her sister just to prove that she could be just their equal. Kahlua Shuzen didn't like fighting, so she just did peaceful things like cleaning the house or whatever. And Akasha tells them that someone important is about to visit. And Tohao Fuhai suspects Inner Mocha doesn't remember this, and this leads Mizre to wonder what could have happened to Akasha that was so bad that it traumatized Inamoka and it had to be forcefully forgotten. And they also feel that they shouldn't interfere with her memories because they might mess her up or get themselves into more danger. Uh, we see that later that the family dog meets a girl and is rather intimidated by her. And this girl is revealed to be Aqua Shuzan, who has black hair and is rather pretty, but you can just sense that there's something about this girl that you said you don't want to fuck with her. And that she says that she's going to start living with them from now on. This was a pretty well done chapter. It starts off lighthearted, but treads into deeper mysteries into how Mocha's life was before meeting the gang, her childhood, and we're setting up the tragedy that happened with her family and her terrible past. And based on how it's described, this is the part where this is where shit gets real. This is full on shit gets real moment. So next time, which will be happening pretty soon, we'll talk about chapter 30 of Rosario Vampire 2.